Hello, hello. Welcome back to our live stream, MTP Live. It's so nice to see all of you here. Thank you for joining me. Our next person is an artist that many people know in the market. His name is Michael. He seems to be the kind of person that every vendor wants to be friends with, and you can tell because everyone's trying to collaborate with him. He's so fun. So I'm going to see if Michael's on the call here. Let's see if we can get him on.
Natalie,
Yay!
how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I heard that pretty dope introduction. I thank you for that. I heard bits and pieces. I'm having a little technical difficulties get just this whole setup going on here. So how you doing?
I'm really good. Had a great interview with Gordon, and now I'm
I heard
excited.
some of it.
Nice.
Gordon and
Yeah.
I have worked together a couple times. I purchased a few items from him, jackets, just all sorts of stuff. So Gordon's a good soul. He's a good soul.
Very nice. So, Michael, welcome to MTP Live.
Welcome to MTP Live. I've been waiting all day for this. You gotta
Nice.
understand, we don't have the post. The post is like our oxygen to, like, you know how it is. You know
Yeah.
exactly how it is. And this is the only closest I get to just talking. Sometimes I love to talk, so I'm pleasured. I'm honored to be here with you.
Awesome.
My man
So,
Jake Robbins in the building.
oh yes, there are lots of people here today. So
I
this is a good one. I love
I
this.
had got texts and calls like, yo, you need to shout me out. So if I shout people out unexpectedly, I'm sorry, Nat. It's my Apple family. Shout to Curtis in here. My family from Jersey, New York, Georgia. Like, it's a whole community. So
You got to give everyone a shout out. It's
don't
okay.
mind me.
So, Michael, can you introduce yourself and tell us about what you do and about your business?
Yeah. So I'm Michael G. Simpson. That is my full name. A lot of people think G was like put there. That is on my birth certificate. And I started a company called Writings from Michael. And it all started with this. I want to go really into these notes because the reason why I write is I really feel the power of writing is how you manifest things. So before moving to Los Angeles and before like really taking on this journey as like full face fronted, I was always writing. Like I had a goal of writing a poem a day and posting it. That was my goal at one point. Like literally just to post a poem, right? I had a goal of just posting every day and hopefully that it would inspire people across the world. And that was all I was using my platform for, was to really post on Instagram before moving here. And I didn't really get the confidence until I took a trip out June 2015 with my buddy. I came for a few days and he said, "Yo, look, you may like Los Angeles. I know you are, but you like all these arts and crafts." So I took a trip for 3 days, Natalie. Honestly, that was like the turning point of my life. I visited the Trading Post by accident, like just wanted to do some stuff.
Wow.
I ended up buying two pieces from the Englishman. I brought a Basquiat piece, 8x8 piece, and I also purchased a Keith Haring piece, and another a piece I brought from an artist from Kenya. I'm not sure if you remember this gentleman. He actually passed away last year or maybe 2 years ago to a car accident in Kenya. And
Really?
Gene,
Dean?
right, Gene. I brought
Wow.
a piece from Gene, and those three purchases literally changed my thinking of how I was doing my art. I always had dreams of being a ball player. I had dreams of being a rapper. And I always had this narrow-minded thinking that that's how you're supposed to make it, until coming out here, honestly, it taught me that you don't have to just have one way to facilitate or be a vessel of your art. So I felt more comfortable being a writer, and the Trading Post gave me the platform to do so as much. So it really is crazy how I have this piece in back of me. You may trip or fall, but in the process, you will stumble upon purpose. And I feel like that is very synonymous with my personal journey, maybe even your journey. And sometimes your biggest purpose is the thing you underlook. Like, I never realized writing was the catalyst. I always thought it was me having to speak, or it would be something else. But for me, writing was literally the underground of what I'm doing now. So it really is a blessing to be in Los Angeles now. and it's dope. It's dope. It's a dope feeling. Dope feeling.
That is incredible. Wow. What a journey. So you said you were living somewhere else. Where were you living?
I was in Georgia. So I was in Georgia working at Apple full time as a specialist.
Hmm.
And I didn't finish college. So shout out to all the college graduates, high school graduates. And for me personally, Natalie, I sit on that and I stand behind that proudly. Like for me, I didn't find college to suit me the way I thought it was supposed to be. I didn't go into it thinking that um, I didn't have my purpose at that time. You always think what you want to do. I want to be an accountant. Like, shit, excuse me. Like, you just think like you're kind of not thinking, really thinking until you gotta go through some experience. And it took me to really to feel confident to mom, I can't be in school. Not because I don't want to educate myself, but because it's not inhibiting me to do the things I really want to do. And that's be creative, be artistic, and try to really express myself in the best way possible. And that was probably the biggest, best mistake ever happened to me is going out of college, moved to Georgia. I had to get refocused. I was very out of line. Just didn't really have any more, I didn't have any structure. And I think
Hmm.
if you're going to build something positive and anything substantial, you have to have some structure. And Georgia taught me a lot of structure, to believe it or not. And working at Apple, it taught me a lot of core values, how to just think outside the box as far as people. People are the soil. So a lot of things I work for Apple, I use today within my business. So I took the small jobs that even though I didn't want to work, I remember working at Taco Mac as a waiter because it was the only job that I could afford at the time. And like, Mama Cal, that's my mama Laura in the building. And the jobs that you don't want sometimes, like being a waiter or cleaning tables, those are the jobs that uh, really push you to the core values in life, right? Like working for a hard-earned dollar. And I feel like the Trading Post, once I got there, I wasn't overly proud to sit 9 to 5, sometimes even longer, right?
Yeah.
And you just doing it on your own pretty much. It was all training to get to the now. So
Mm.
I'm very blessed to have small jobs like that and to be grateful for a job period. And it's
Mm.
taught me a lot just to value the small earned dollar, just really valuing a penny. So it doesn't come for granted because even though we talk about the great things of the trading post, there's are days that, you may not even sell an item or it
Mhm.
rains or there's things where I remember I didn't have enough money to the $60. Remember the spot was $60. I remember there were times when Saturday I didn't have enough in the account to make it the payment on Sunday and somehow miraculously I don't know. It just happened. But there would be
Mhm.
things where you would fall into, damn, how am I going to get around this? And I feel like with COVID-19, obviously putting a big dent in everybody's journey, it kind of helps us realize that we do got to be more prepared. And when you are prepared,
Mhm.
it's easier to go through those stumbles. You're not as like, oh, okay, I can get through this. So working
Yeah.
in Georgia has really taught me a lot like that. Just even now, just getting through this COVID-19 is like we gotta adapt, right? It is what it is. We can't do much other than control what we can control.
Yeah. A lot of what I've been hearing is how, the vendors that sell at the trading post have really realized they need to build safety nets for themselves within their business and make their business more resilient.
100%, 100%.
Who could have
And
seen, this kind of a large scale impact in our lives, in our daily lives, to think that the market would be closed?
yeah,
And, you know, it's it's a shock to everyone, but I've seen so many people jump up and take action and figure out how they can get themselves in a stable place so that they can carry on and continue creating things.
absolutely. And a lot of that is due to also, I guess, adapting to. It's good that the MTP has added the directory. Shout out to the directory. Go in the directory. There's dope artists on there. There's dope artisans, and kind of going on the e-commerce route now.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we've been doing over here. Is kind of like, all right, that foundation we built at the trading post. It's invaluable to get in-person interaction. That is to me the best form of marketing. Is sorry, there's a guy out there selling the ice cream. If you can hear that, he does this every time at the same time. But the market almost is getting that foundation and now making it to e-commerce. And it's kind
Mhm.
of hard, even though digital we can be together here. There's nothing like in-person interaction. That
Mhm.
to me, that was how exactly I found a lot of success is like telling my story, somebody resonating, and them believing in me. And it took that 2 minute, maybe 20 minutes, sometimes even hour conversations to transform. So it's not transactional, it's transformational. And
Mhm.
I always took that from Apple too as well. Like, don't make it transactional. We weren't getting paid commission, so it was more like you really had to be with this customer, and that
Mhm.
value point always stood into now. Like, all right, let me not make this transactional. Let's build a relationship and a rapport where we can just journey together while you have your piece. So,
Mhm.
I've taken a lot of things from the trading post for these past 4 years. There has been ups and downs, even with the market changing when it got like the high influx of people coming in. Remember, we got this high influx where a lot more people started coming. It started getting more popular. Um, that's all adapting too because there's more people at this point now. Now you have to kind of set yourself apart and do small things to kind of
Yeah.
clean customers out. So this whole COVID-19 is teaching us a lot, but I also feel like it's a great training method again for the next 10, 20
Mhm.
years. There might be something too as well. There's always going to be something that's going to be in the road to try to stop us, but really it's gonna project us to a bigger outcome.
It's very true. We have to be, I think as the Melrose Trading Post and Greenway Art Alliance, our mission is to support social enterprise and local businesses and creative businesses and artists. So we have to also think of how do we, maintain ourselves in this time when our
Right,
our income is now gone.
right,
So,
right,
we're getting creative too, and it's talking to all of you has really inspired me to really like push myself and think outside of the box. Like, how else can we do this? How else can we do
right.
this? It's really such a great community to be a part of because everyone is just so willing to like share ideas and collaborate,
hmm
and it's just so awesome. And I really see you at this point. You've been there for 4 years. Is that right? 4 years
I
now?
so the
Or
29th will be, believe, 4 years, which is I didn't realize that until we scheduled all this, and then I was like, oh damn, it's actually been that long, but it doesn't feel that way. I guess when you're doing something, you don't really see it as the time being passed. You're just trying to fill time,
Mm,
and it's crazy that even a 4 year span, a lot of things can happen and change. Like if I remember the first time I did the trading post and that feeling of, there's a lot of other feelings too you feel being there too, because sometimes people can make you feel incompetent if someone's
mm,
buying a piece, right? It's almost like the inferior factor, right? You selling something at a trading post, people already have maybe an inclination in their mind how much something should be priced at.
mhm,
So a lot has taught me too is to stand true to your value and stand true to what you are selling or what you are embodying. So
mhm,
a lot of the times where you kind of you may get overlooked by someone. Maybe there's a lot of pretty dope people come to the trading post now. Nat, I know you know that. So it's you got to stand firm in certain things, and that always
mhm.
taught me the confidence of like I'm not too proud to be out here in front of my stuff and represent. So I always told the bigger picture. So it seems that all worked a little bit. We'll see. I don't know if it works. That's my opinion, but it seemed like it works, just the consistency of keep coming back. I see Englishman is on here preaching like Englishman. He has taught so many things, and other vendors you learn from. It's like almost like an open podcast. Like everyone has a little bit of information to give and garner. And I always took it from the OGs, like shout out to Lance who sells the record
Mhm.
players. He's been here for years. So just gentlemen and young ladies and women who've been doing it longer than I have.
Mhm.
And I take a little bit of advice from them, and you don't usually hear what someone says, you see what they do. And I always see certain vendors like, damn, that's how you should be doing it. So
Mhm.
you try to take what we built here at the Trading Post and literally just transition over to the e-commerce side, which we're thankful for Instagram because 4 years ago, I didn't think IG Live was possible. I didn't even think in this realm. I don't know about you now, but I damn sure I didn't think this would be possible, to be honest with you. So
Hmm.
to have it like this, I think it's pretty cool that we're able to do these IG lives, even we do the Zoom calls, right? Which I have
Hmm.
missed the last two Zoom calls, but it's cool to be able to virtually express yourself and also to see like where everyone is at mentally.
Yeah, really, like the technology that we have access to right now has really revolutionized everything. And I
Yes.
think that it's such a, for the people that can access it and can use it, it's such a great tool to keep going
Yeah.
during this time. But, we do have a chunk of our vendors that are more analog, they're
Yeah.
offline or they just don't, maybe they check email, but that's about it. So,
Yeah.
you know, we're doing our best to check in on those people too, because I can't imagine not having the internet, not having all of this to connect with. And
Absolutely.
it's really been a saving thing for me because, I miss the market so much and getting to see everyone one on one like this and in the Zoom calls, it's like, so it really helps to get through this.
It definitely does. It definitely does. And I'm gonna go back just a point here
Hmm.
is well, I have up there. I'm not sure if you can see. Okay,
Hmm.
your mission, your purpose, your calling, journey. And on the other side, is lost in the right direction is okay. And I
Hmm.
had that too because sometimes when creating, we always feel like it has to be perfect. But I've stopped striving for perfection on pieces when I realized only thing perfect is God. Like you really can't be perfect. There's no way around it. So when I'm doing a piece, for me, when I know it's done, is I know that it's imperfect. And I mention these points because I stapled it writing is from Michael because writing is deeper than just writing something. You're really manifesting something. When you write something down, you're declaring it and you're claiming it to be true. So that's why it is important to watch what we say and to be accountable for our words. And when we aren't accountable, we've got to be apologetic and also forgiving too as well on the other end. So
Hmm.
I say this because words are very powerful. I mean, if you say things, you're declaring life, you're speaking life. And I feel like for the younger generation, the younger youth, it's important for them to know that because when you speak victory in your life, you will receive victory.
Hmm.
And I realized that too when I wrote my goals earlier. I had a goal of reuniting with my high school sweetheart, which I have done today. We are getting married, and I'm very proud of that. That first book I wrote, Intense Pulse, that book was dedicated to her, and that was the first and only poetry book I've written this far. I have a part two coming soon here, but
Nice.
I said it because I didn't want to put a book out per se. That it just happened like that. But the whole point was I was writing it into existence. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? And so when I say writing is for Michael, I say Michael is me, but it's really a language of love. It's a language of love. Not to say you have to be in love with somebody, but love what you do, love
Hmm.
who you're around. Love the day. And for me, that's gratitude. Like the gratitude only will manifest into abundance. And abundance doesn't mean more money. Abundance can be, look, I had a goal of being able to leisurely have coffee in Sunday morning. Now we can do that in the morning. That to me, that's rich. I can have coffee in the morning. I'm good. Bigger than just tangible items, more intangibles, and to me those are more valuable than anything will ever come in life. So,
Hmm.
I say all this to say because right now, this is really like it's just so profound, Natalie. I can't even explain it. It's for me, everything is writing. Everything is writing. Like this, how we got to this. We wrote a. You sent me an email, right? Everything is in writing. So words are powerful. I believe words will change people's lives. When you speak victory in life, you receive victory. So I only want to be around that and surround my soil with that. Speaking of soil, Natalie is a great planter, and she has all the information, and she revived my fiance and I's plant without you even knowing because I tell you, your information, we took the information and did that. So that's a side note, sidebar.
Yes. Oh, that's exciting.
You know what I mean?
Yes,
So
I love helping people with their plants.
and and to say that, and that's a goal in life too, right? Pick an occupation and job that you can enrich other people's lives. it can be a post office work. It doesn't matter where you're working, really, as long as you can be of service, whether in your personal life or work life. I feel like that makes everything all better, and I'm just truly proud of that, honestly. And I
Mm-hmm.
want the 2020. My brother just graduated this past weekend, which I just found out, and it's kind of sad he doesn't have a graduation because I remember being in high school having a graduation, and I'm trying to figure out what to get him. Honestly, I know this is like live time, but I don't know what to get him where
Mm-hmm.
he feels valued and loved. I'm trying to think of that now,
Yeah.
and it's crazy how someone can just graduate right now and not have that moment of celebration. And that's
Mm-hmm.
what pushes us, being celebrated. You got to celebrate people. So trying to figure out ways to celebrate him in the highest way.
I feel you. At Greenway, we work closely with Fairfax High School students, and they just graduated. And it
Right,
feels weird. We don't get to hear the marching band and
right.
all the things and see them go across the stage. There's none of that. So it's very strange to know they're just not coming back. It's
Yeah.
weird.
Shout out to Yaya too. You know Yaya, and every Sunday, we did a due diligence to speak every Sunday. Take a photo. Yaya, I asked him, Yaya, what's the word of the day? Hopefully he's on this. What's the word of the day? He would tell me patience, or he would say persistence, something that
Mhm.
would be, digestible to get through the day with. And I found those small things to be liberating. Like when you can just converse with someone young, because I almost see myself and him young, like working young. I remember being 17, 16, wanting to work and earn everything I earned, right? And so you really want to celebrate them the right way. So we got to talk offline. Maybe we can figure out an idea like to
Hmm.
do a screen print or something like that, but something where
Yeah.
they can feel empowered though, because it,
Mhm.
young kids do need to feel empowered, and I
Mhm.
feel like I feel blessed to be able to be kind of kiddish in a way, like as far as arts, like it
Mhm.
almost. That's why the best artists are like 3, 4, 5 years old, 2 years old. Like they're not thinking, they're just doing it. It's just flow, and that's the state I'm trying to reach. Is like an
Mhm.
ultimate flow state. There's no thinking. It's literally just doing. I actually have a piece here that says, this you might like this. You cannot think and do at the same time. Well, you can, but one at a time, just continue doing.
Nice.
We will
I
give
love
this to
that.
somebody at the end of this giveaway here. So, but
Nice. Oh, great.
it
Great.
kind of don't overthink things, right? You can't overthink things. And when you overthink, you kill the actual catalyst to it doing it, right? When you
Mhm.
overthink, you kill it. You just go, and it'll all connect back later, which is very important. I feel a lot of the journey I've took so far is just not thinking, just doing it. I didn't necessarily want to have a clothing line. What happened was I was painting so many pieces at the Trading Post, and there was a time where no one could tell who did it though. Like if you didn't meet me personally, you
Mm.
wouldn't know Writings from Michael did this piece. So that's when I started to do the labels. I made a label and
Mhm.
started to get labels made. So each piece will get a label. So and then it kind of formed into a clothing line. You know what I mean? But I always say it's not a clothing line. It's a language of love. It's really a book collection of languages, and
Mhm.
each piece kind of connects to another. So when you read one piece, it's really synonymous and autonomous to another piece. So
Mhm.
just like if you read a book from, let's say, what's favorite author of yours right here? I got a book here.
Hmm.
Marcus Aurelius, right? If I read one of these books, this book is about Stoicism, right? The Stoic method, right? There's nothing bad or good in life. There's methods that connect to Gandhi. So I,
Mhm.
I know it's make sound confusing, but each book connects to each other because they're all just ideas and perspectives. So
Mhm.
each piece is an idea and perspective, and hopefully you take something out of it. You extract the juice out of it. So that to the sale of that, that's what WFM is. That's what I'm doing now is to really enhance my writing skills, but with less words. My
Mhm.
goal was to write all these books, but at some point I realized people don't really read as much as they do on a mass scale, like reading there's not like a line outside like the Jordan line. Like if some new pair of sneakers came out, there's like there's lines. If there's a book
Yeah.
came out, would you see that same thing? You know, like less
Maybe
than
for
likely. What you say?
maybe for Harry Potter.
Harry Potter, right? That is a one-off case. It's a one-off case. Yeah, I actually remember that. Yeah. But
Yeah.
it's not a common thing. So for me, I'm
Yeah.
trying to do it in ways and pick mediums that kids love clothes, I love clothes, and mash the two together. And when you're really reading one quote, you're really reading a phrase of a book. So
Mm,
trying to, I don't want to say dump it down because I don't want to say it's like yeah on a stupider level, but kind of putting it to a level where you don't have to like look too deeply. But there are three, two meanings behind each piece, you
mm,
know.
yeah.
So I don't know if I'm sounding long winded, but I'll just kind of go into what piece I'm looking at now.
Yeah. Let's see some art.
So I did this piece this past week. This is just a regular button down, vintage button down. So all the clothing, instead of holding all this inventory, I didn't want to have a brand where I'm having all these new clothes. So I picked sustainable clothes. Once I
Mhm.
moved to LA, I saw the value in just vintage and thrift, and I kind of like that idea. It has like this kind of nostalgia to it. And kind of the beauty of the nostalgia is it's been used, but we're like revamping life, giving life a new meaning, right?
Definitely breathing new life into it.
Here goes some paintings here that so this one you probably can't see the words, but I'm gonna read it to you guys. So the fabric of our society is sewn by our will to hold it together and lock in our faith. So this is a piece I did maybe about this is actually one of the first pieces I did during lockdown. And when we thought it was like maybe a 2 week thing, 3 week thing, now it's like till July,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yep.
See if you guys can
Wow.
take these words out.
Oh, wow. This one's fun. I like this one a lot.
The peaceful solace we breathe
Mm.
and life we share. And this is don't resist intuition. And I'm gonna go over here real quick with the steer here. And there's a piece that talks about intuition. Don't resist intuition. There's hope in the peaceful solace we breathe. We share life in one thread of patience with love. Will your determination lead you through? So a lot of the questions, I always ask a lot of questions in pieces too because I don't want to feel like I'm trying to judge someone else's life. So it's really a self-reflection for myself and also the world, right?
Yeah.
And I thank the Trading Post for that in a sense because there would be times when I would have a piece out, Natalie, right? Inside is where the bellow of your voice is tuned. I'm kind of speaking about the
Mhm.
studio, right? Like you find your voice in solace. There were
Mhm.
times in at the Trading Post where I would meet a customer or meet just a random person, and a piece I've done, you know, writing something is different from receiving it. Me writing it in this sense, I'm from Black man from New Jersey. My experience is much different from someone from Kansas, right? So your experiences are different, but someone can read the same painting or words and read it totally different. So for me, I
Mhm.
fell in love with that idea. Like, damn, I'm writing something, and you don't know how much struggle comes from this writing. You know, how much pain, maybe, how much infliction has come, but
Mhm.
you're grasping something totally different. So then there's like these clash of two worlds coming together, and that's where I started really falling in love with the process of like, all right,
Mhm.
you can write words and it resonates differently. Like you take the Bible, I mean, there's so many interpretations of how people take it, and that's why I said words are powerful. And just as powerful as words are, the research is even more powerful. So it's kind of like always playing with these two dual worlds, and I always say the duality. So
Mhm.
trying to connect the two worlds together through writing. That's always kind of been like a thing. So I always say the questions because questions kind of like it's like almost saying a statement, but a question mark adds like, well, it's not matter of factly, but it also is inquisitive enough to know there's more, you know?
Mhm. It's
It's
also
so
an invitation,
right,
an invitation to think about
exactly.
what I'm thinking. What do you think, kind of thing.
Right, because there's really there's a right or wrong, right? There's like, okay, that's wrong. You can't do that to someone, right? But in certain perspectives, someone may have a different upbringing. So you gotta respect, okay, I respect that, but let me add this for you here. So the questions are really like, let me add another perspective, right? If I'm so angry, um, the anger may the anger may subside the truth, right? I may be so angry and so convicted, like this is right. Well, you gotta look like this, right? So that little in between there, um, is always for the unknown, right? The unknown is
Mhm.
to be grasped. So a lot of the questions, I'm writing a lot of questions because I feel like it does open up for more growth. And for me, I'm 28 years old, man. I'm like, I'm still growing. I wish I can have a 79-year-old wisdom, but in this body, if that makes sense, you know? So
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
just want to garner so much wisdom, Natalie. So you can't garner but so much, though, right? You have to live through life
Mhm.
to attain it. So the question does leave up room for interpretation.
Mm. I love that. That's incredible.
Thank you, Natalie. Thank you. So to kind of double check with the COVID-19 is,
Mm-hmm.
I've accepted already that we're inside. I, you're not telling me different. Ebony and I, we're inside. We're just kind of utilizing the time to, eat healthier, do things that we kind of got sidetracked on, keep our health in order, working out. Not to say working out to get this crazy body, but like working out inside, like just reading more and doing things to buckle down a little bit and just to realign everything, because we do get in a routine. I was in a routine trainable every week and just almost being locked into it. Like, okay, I have
Mm-hmm.
to have a certain amount of pieces for people. I have
Mm-hmm.
orders due. So I kind of get into this routine where sometimes you got to, only way to grow is to get out of a routine
Mm-hmm.
and to like lock out sometimes. So I feel like it's a great learning and a growth point that we have this amount of time to like, okay, sit at home and like focus on home, and home
Mm-hmm.
meaning the inside of your soul, not just like the physical attributes, but like planting. These are all things that stimulate the mind. Shout out to Mental Health Awareness Month.
Yes.
Little shout
Like
out there.
seeds underground. And right now we're watering our seeds and we're
We're watering
getting
our
ourselves
seeds.
ready for when we can emerge.
Exactly, exactly. So when, springtime, fall, I guess, hopefully, right? We can blossom and all these beautiful things happen and we built more foundation.
Mm-hmm.
And I said before, living in Georgia is where I kind of got the bearings of foundation and structure and how important it is. So there's another quote here. I have a lot of quotes here. I'm sorry.
Mm. Love them.
Structure, order, boundaries is success. So there needs to be some structure and order. Need to have
Mm-hmm.
order. Like, okay, let's do this today, do that today. And boundaries, like your personal space, your energy, right? If someone says, "Oh,
Mm-hmm.
Nat, can we come outside for ice cream?" Okay, there's a boundary here. I don't go out past 5. I don't go out past 9, right? You got to have some boundaries set in place. And there's nothing wrong with having boundaries, right? It's almost saying when you do have boundaries, that's self love, right? That you got to have, look, I can't go outside that. That's this within our partnership. Shout out to Nat. She got married last year, correct?
Yes.
Right. So you have a union too. So, and that's what that boundaries, like respecting your union,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like it's very important when building a family. Like those structured order and boundaries are crucial. When knowing when to say no and look, that's not gonna work. It's not. I'm just sorry, and I think people can respect that. So
Absolutely. Michael, I don't
I
want this to end,
I
but
don't want to end either, and I'm sorry. Once I get started, I get started. I'm in the studio. If I was like, it's hard not to get going here. I'm telling you, it's one of the things. How are we on time right now?
we are actually just out of time.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
But I do want to do one thing, and
Yes.
Nat, you pick the person. I have a piece here,
Mm.
and let's give the piece away. What do you think?
I think we should do that.
Let's do that. So look, I'm gonna do this. This is coming from the website itself.
Mm-hmm.
Um, So please, no one order this right now. Like, don't go online and order this. This is a size. This is a medium.
Hmm.
The will to love over hate.
Ooh.
All right. Nat,
Incredible.
you pick a person, I'm not too sure, or someone with the greatest question. Let's give this piece away. What we'll do is Nat will pick someone. Once you pick the person, I'm gonna send them a DM message to get their shipping information. I'm gonna ship this tomorrow ASAP. But let's do this. Let's give a piece away. And what do you think? What could be a question we get for this person?
Hmm. Hmm. How about the person who can come up with a one sentence poem?
Ooh, I like that. I like that. Starting now.
Starting now. One
Starting
sentence
now.
poem. Submit it now. Hmm.
And yeah. Okay.
Looks like Anne is on here and she says you can send it to Sweden.
Say this minute. International accepted.
So if you want to enter to win this sweater, I want to see your one sentence poem. Let's see.
People are
Hmm.
thinking right now, I feel.
Aw.
Oh, a piece of love brings about peace in your ear. I like that. Who is that? Cash Brown?
Yes. Oh wow. Ooh, pea cake. Take a leap, the net will follow. Oh, that's beautiful.
I do like that.
And Kasha's a piece of love brings about peace in your heart.
Love, I like
Oh,
that. Set your boundaries and plant your seeds of love. Ooh. I
yes.
like to plant your
Ooh.
seeds, though. I like that. And Natalie, you every time you're doing something, I always get a lot of analogies too, because planting is very synonymous with anything. Like it really is. Planting should be a class in high school. I'm telling you that would follow your dreams only you know what it means. Oh, Mama Kel with the rhymes though. I like that.
Love yourself and show your love. Others eliminate hate. Ooh, these are good.
These are good. Um,
My purpose in life is to give love and translate your life to happiness.
Jake, 7 days
7
without
days
love makes
without
one week.
love. One
Sidebar.
week.
Jake is
Hmm. Water your inner
I
garden.
like that.
Love is magical, not only practical.
Ooh.
We've got some good ones over here.
I need to be at our wedding, man. Coming soon, man.
All right. Any
Any last
last poem?
ones?
And make your life grow as plants. Oh, wait. With some poetic words.
Nat, go for it. Go for it, Nat.
All right. I'm gonna go through. Oh, these are all really good. Oh,
While you're doing that,
okay.
I'm gonna sign it.
I am Kasha Brown. Um, she is just bringing it with incredible
She
one-line
is.
poems.
All
I
right,
think
so
she has to win this.
all right, so is it Kasha K-A? Let me see that again. Okay, I'm gonna sign it to Kasha.
Yay! You are the winner.
Kasha Brown, you got it.
Yes, and you are a poet.
You are a poet. Let me get her IG too, so I can won't forget. I am Kasha Brown. Okay.
Yes, that is awesome. So yay, we have a winner of this awesome sweater, very inspirational sweater.
Very dope. Okay. Perfect. Kasha, going to you tomorrow. I promise.
Yay! Oh, thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everybody. Shout out to all our essential workers, our frontline workers, everyone literally doing the work that we don't want to do. Thank you. All right.
Yeah.
To the students, 2020, high school, college, keep on going. Don't stop. Use school as a catalyst to keep on pushing yourself forward. stay focused. And education is not just in the classroom; it's outside,
Yes, it is. In the
right?
world.
And we got to get planting required. We got to talk to the state. We got to do some political moves, Natalie, and get planting as a required class into school. That would be really awesome, honestly. There's a lot of analogies to planting.
Yes, very cool. And so we do have to wrap up, but do you want to just shout out your Instagram, your website,
Yeah,
all the good
so
things for people to
absolutely.
connect?
So please, everyone, follow our page, Writings from Michael. The website is writingsfrommichael.com. You can reach me on email, let's see, at michael@writingsfrommichael.com, and it's pretty straightforward. Look, just give a follow. I'm telling you, there's something on there for you. You may not find something right away, but I always say, the peace you will not find, the peace will find you. So
Mhm.
with that said, love, enjoy your Sunday. Everybody recharge your batteries. I wish nothing but happiness. It's going to be an exceptional day. I claimed it this morning. This morning I was like, it's going to be an exceptional day. So I hope this extends out everybody. Nothing but love, and keep on growing your foundation. So we'll be back in time for hopefully the Trading Post sooner than later.
Yes, yes. I really hope we'll be able to get together all in person safely soon.
Yeah, yeah.
And Patrick's saying your Instagram stories are epic, so
Oh,
we gotta make sure
shout
those
out to
out.
my fiance. She has the best smoothies, man. It's not me. I promise you, it's her. So yeah, look at the Instagram stories. And happy Sunday, y'all. For real, enjoy the day. These are times we can recharge your batteries, recalibrate. So
Well, thank you, Michael. Thank you so much for joining me today.
thank you, Natalie, for having me. I really appreciate you.
Of course. All right. See you later.
We'll talk soon.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me for this session with Michael from Writings from Michael. Be sure you're following him on Instagram, Writings from Michael. It's pinned below. And check out his website. What he does is incredible. He brings people together. He collaborates with other vendors, which we didn't get to talk about too much, but he's already doing that right now. So definitely check out what he's doing. And I hope you'll stay with me for the next session because it is amazing. Oh, of course, yay, Kasha, I'm glad you won. The next session is with Sydney Renee. She's going to do a live musical performance for us. So I'm going to end this video and start a new one in just a couple minutes, and then we'll get Sydney Renee on. All right? So I'll see you in just a minute.